Hey guys, good morning. It's Lori. It's, I think, January 3rd. So I'm starting out this year. I want to do a bunch of different things. I'm really focusing on my health, my physical health. If you've been following me, you know I've been I put together a plan, supplements, vitamins, that kind of thing, healthy eating, that kind of thing. I have a hard time with food, always have. So I'm taking supplements to kind of make sure I get everything I need. And I'm working really hard on getting physically well, doing qigong, fasting, praying, making sure I study every day, that kind of thing. So 2020 is going to be a good year. It's going to be a good year. We're going to manifest that which we desire. We're going to learn how to communicate well. We're going to understand that we don't need to engage with negative people, certain people. Certain people are not worth your energy, and I don't mean the person itself, I mean the communication. Certain people, absolutely, you learn how to communicate with them, and that's what we should be doing all the time is, a big part of communication is listening and hearing. If you listen and hear, not only are you going to know, you get a better understanding of what that other person wants or needs, but you understand how that person communicates, right? It can be really difficult when you have an emotional attachment, but there are also some people who refuse to learn how to communicate, certain personality disorders, certain personalities, and if something's harmful to you, you got to know when to disengage, so these are the kinds of things that I'm hoping to share along our journey. If you want a personal appointment, I'm here. Comment or email or text message me or whatever. But I wanted to talk about one quick thing. This is my Ollie jumped up on the counter. I was listening to somebody this morning, and she was talking about being ripped off by this psychic. And that's what I want to talk about. I'll be right back. It's just going to be a quick story. And I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So, as often happens, I had fallen asleep with YouTube on and, autoplay was on. And so I wake up to this girl talking about an experience she had with a woman that she ran into on the street that seemed to know personal details about her. Definitely knew things about her that she shouldn't have known. And then the woman proceeded to give her something for protection to bring home, and then contacted her after that and demanded, a lot of money. I don't recall how much, but a lot of money to remove the curse. Okay. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that, but I also wanted to talk about something that she said. She ended her video saying something like, she believes in gifts, gifts of second sight, that kind of thing, as do I. But she had said that everybody that is psychic or gifted it's always a good thing, and it depends on how the person uses it. I want to dispute that. In my experience, and many years ago, probably when I was her age, I probably thought the same thing. I probably would have said the same thing. As I grow on my spiritual journey, as I get closer to God, I learn different things. There are many things I said in my 20s that I completely disagree with now. And I'm just grateful that God has given me the time to remain here to learn more. So, no fault to anybody who believes this, but I just want to share my opinion and what I've learned over the years in my spiritual journey is that's not necessarily true. Now, God gives people all kinds of gifts, okay? He gives people the gifts. I use it a lot of music, musically talented, like seemingly out of nowhere, right? There are people that are absolutely gifted that can hear a song and play it without even knowing how to read a note. There are other people that know how to read music and have never been taught. There are people that are gifted in art, as far as like drawing or creating things, voice, singing, all kinds of gifts. We all have something. We all have something. But the spiritual gifts, and there are some in the Christian community, and I'm not saying everybody who doesn't believe this is not a true Christian. Nope, not up to me to decide. I'm not saying that. But there are some people who believe that any gift of foresight or knowing or whatever is not of God. Well, there it is. Okay, so we have words of knowledge, we have words of wisdom. Those are from God. To be able to prophesy over someone, that's of God. Okay? So I beg to differ that there are gifts. I beg to differ with those people who say none of it's of God. Because, believe me, I've had this struggle for years with God. And I'm like, you know what? If this is of the devil, take it. Take it away. I don't want it. I want nothing to do with it. And what he's shown me is it's a very fine line. Okay? So, are there people that have been gifted of God and went the wrong direction with it? Yes, which is what she was basically saying. But even in the Bible, there's a story about it. There are negative vibes, the devil, that also, there are spirits who can give people the gift of foresight, or give them the appearance of having the gift of foresight. It's actually a demonic spirit. So not all people who have that are gifted by God, okay? Plain and simple. It's totally not the truth. Are there people gifted of God that go the wrong way? Yes, but those people will lose their gift, okay? It's interesting that some people that don't believe in the gifts this way will, be more than happy to listen to a person who has, a word of knowledge for them. And that's what I do. I give a word of knowledge, a word of wisdom, because I know without a doubt that now at this stage in my journey, I believe it was always a gift of God for me, but I got confused along the way, and thank God, God guided me, and thank God that I was able to recognize and discern eventually, finally, between the negative vibes, the negative spirits, that which is not of God, and that which is of God. So I don't think every gifted person is gifted of God. In the spiritual sense, not in the gifts of music or talent and whatever. That's of God, and you please use it for God. Some people don't, but it's different than the spiritual gifts, okay? So that being said, all right, let's go back to this lady. And you know what? She's not the only one. There are many, many people who do this kind of stuff. There are people that do it blatantly like this lady, and then there are others who do it more manipulative. They take advantage of the people that are hurting. That's a whole other story, okay? Those people, and they come off as, they might even say, hey, I'm of God, but then if you watch them, they're not. There are ways to discern. There are ways to discern, and God tells us how to discern between people that are fooling you or whatever. That's another video. But as far as somebody like this woman and others like her, I've heard it. I had a friend who fell for it once, and it just blew my mind. Like, how did you fall for that? Okay? First of all, there's some that are just totally full of BS, right? You have dark energy around you. You have a curse. If you don't give me, it starts with 100, I'll do a prayer for you. I'll light a candle for you, whatever. It could even start 25, 30, whatever, depending on where you meet them. Sometimes it goes up into the thousands. Sometimes what that is total BS, and they get you in such a mindset that you believe this, so now all of a sudden you're calling negative things onto you. Then there are other people who are actually working with negative spirits. They're doing hoodoo or voodoo or some other kind of, and they're doing dark arts, okay? I am not trying to, please, disclaimer, whatever your religion is, like if your religion is hoodoo, I'm not you know what? I'm not putting you down or anything. I'm talking about the dark arts, black magic. There are people out there who do that. There are negative spirits. There are satanic spirits. There are demonic entities. I know some people, especially people like in the New Age movement, or even some people that do what I do, they refuse to believe that. There is always an opposite. For each action there's an equal and opposite reaction. We know that in the spiritual realm it's the same thing, except nobody is equal and opposite to God. No one. Some people think, oh, the devil and God are in this big battle. That's not true at all. God's here, period. He is the big guy. He is all powerful. Okay, the devil doesn't have the same power as God ever. There's no competition there. Okay? But the devil is trying to get you. He's trying to take you from God. Out of his hatred for God, he hates people, even people who follow him. Okay, got a little passionate there. Sorry. I don't normally talk about this stuff because some people don't even want to hear it. But I had to say it when I heard this, because that just really bothered me. Not all spiritual gifts are of God. There's even an example of it in the Bible where this girl had psychic ability. She's running after Paul, shouting, these guys they're preaching the word, and you think, okay, what she's saying is true. Like, what's the big deal? Paul finally turns around and he shuts her up, gets rid of the spirit. What was wrong with that? Yes, she was telling the truth, but she was enslaved by this spirit working for her captors, who were like, you're going to use this spirit to make money and blah blah blah, and this girl was enslaved by that, so Paul set her free. So there are people who do that. It's just BS. It's a mind thing. They get, and whatever, and they try to get money. Then there are others who truly work in dark arts, truly know how to work the dark arts, whether they've been raised in it or they've learned it along the way. These people are not good. They're being led by demonic entities. And, that's how spirit works. Spirit works through people. Many, many times. It's not always that thing that goes bump in the night in your house, or the sleep paralysis, or something really dark and ugly. The devil works through people that are beautiful. The devil works through exactly what you've ever dreamed of. That's why we need to learn how to discern. Okay? So there are dark arts, and what this woman was doing, this woman in particular, was, so she'd meet these people on the street. She obviously would know, okay, there's a good one, I can get that person, whatever. Maybe they have money, maybe they're heading down the wrong path anyway, whatever. She's working with demonic spirits and satanic things. She's knowing this stuff, right? So yes, what she gives you is valid information. You're like, whoa, it's blown away. Just because somebody's got valid information does not, look at the Ouija board, perfect example. Some people get like real information off that, and then they end up like in this whirlwind of mess, right? So just because somebody is accurate initially doesn't mean that they're of God, okay? Accuracy does not cut it. The devil brings on things good initially in the beginning, and then it always turns to crap, okay? If it's of God, it may not come boom, it can, but it may not come boom, full force. It may, you may have to go through some hardship to get there, but it's going to be lasting and good and always good. It's not going to rot, okay? Side note again, I got off on that. I'm so sorry. Anyhow, so this woman, what she was doing is she was giving them something to take home with them, whether it be a stone, whether it be whatever it is, a necklace, whatever. Now, once she gives you this thing, which she's attached her energy to, the spirit's energy to, she's sending you with negative spirits. You take this home thinking it's protecting you. Now she's got access to you. It's like somebody getting your hair, somebody getting in this day and age of the internet, somebody can grab your picture. Okay, that's why you should be walking with God. Keep yourself protected. Okay, it's going to happen to anybody, right? In the work that I do, I'm constant. I have another story about that, because it's not always people that are working in this kind of thing that send out the curses, okay? But Anyhow, that's coming up next. I'm going to be talking about, there's so much I want to share with you guys. This year, we're going to do a lot of work. If you want to work with me, we're going to do a lot of work on how to communicate with people, how to stay clear of like narcissistic and unhealthy relationships, how to reach your goals in a positive way, and all while remaining on your path, on the course you belong on. Not getting sidetracked into stuff you shouldn't be doing. That'll hold you back, you know? Not giving away your power to narcissistic, negative people. And a lot of those people put on that face, right? Of being, you know, godly or wonderful people, you know. But like I said before, and I know I'm getting sidetracked again, but right now, and we're at January 3rd, I think, we are in an energy shift. And it is kind of it's easing up a little bit. It already is. So we're in like this time period where people are unable to hide their true selves. They're going to be able to hide themselves again. Maybe not as much, but they will. We're in like this little time period where you better pay attention and act when the time is right. Don't cut these people out of your life, you know, or be honest and open with them and have them, you know, maybe they'll come to see the light. I don't know. That's a whole other video. Anyway, so they give you this thing that, this object or whatever, that allows them access to you. And then that stuff starts happening through this object. They've sent a spirit with you. Black magic is real, okay? And people say, well, just because I don't believe in it. Just because you don't believe in it doesn't mean it's not going to work. Now, of course, if you're obsessed with it, then you can have the mind stuff work, even if they're not sending stuff. Or if you're obsessed with this and terrified of it, it's going to have even more power. And then they call you up, they say, oh, see, all this bad stuff's happening. Well, pay me this money and I'll fix it. And of course, they're just working with demonic spirits. So basically what I say to you is don't take the object. You know, if somebody wants to start talking to you on the street about all this stuff they know, start saying a prayer, okay? I bet you tell them, you know, Jesus is Lord, they're going to get the hell out of there. They don't want to talk to you, okay? They're like, whoa, we're out of here, all right? Don't take the object. Don't even give them the energy, okay? Now, say you go to somebody purposely. You want to go get a reading. You've heard they're good. I've talked to people that have come to me and said, I went to so-and-so, and I don't know anybody's name, but like I remember this one girl, she was absolutely terrified because she went to see someone. Now, she did that of her own free will. But this guy was into, you know, demonic energy, black magic, that kind of stuff. Tells her about an accident that's to come. It's the same idea. Okay, if somebody's giving you a word of knowledge or a word of wisdom, now a word of knowledge is something that's going to happen, something you need to know, you know, a prophetic message or whatever. A word of wisdom is something, it's deeper. It's not about a specific thing. It's more something you need to know, right? Okay, so if somebody gives you that, like say I'm talking to you and I'm like, oh, I feel an accident. That's going to come only because you can prevent it. So I'm giving you that word of knowledge so that you can change the path you're going down and prevent that accident. I'm not going to cause that accident. What was happening in that case with that woman that was terrified is this guy's putting it out there, okay? Curses are real. How do you block them? You stand grounded in the Word. You stand grounded with God. You keep your connection to Spirit wholesome and pure. I know I went off a little too much, but I just wanted to say that. Now, stay tuned for the rest of my videos because we're going to be talking about different relationships. I want to go back to the relationship series. I want to talk about narcissism. I want to talk about borderline personality disorder. I want to talk about being empowered, but still treating people the best that you can treat them and becoming the best you that you can be and calling to yourself or manifesting the best life possible for you right now. We're going to do a whole bunch of stuff this year, so I hope you'll join me on the journey. Either here, you know, like, subscribe, comment, whatever, or personally. If you want a one-on-one or a group appointment or anything like that, please comment here or email me at passagesgroupinfo@gmail.com. I'll put it in the description. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great day.